Greetings, people. How are you today? Today we have a review on The Final Six. We're just gonna talk a little bit about the characters, the plot, the setting, all that good stuff. It should be hopefully spoiler-free, except maybe like very minor spoilers. Hopefully entertaining as well. If you're looking for something that's a little bit longer and maybe more detailed with spoilers, you can check out my Read With Me. I'll link it up above right here. And yeah, let's jump right in. Let's talk characters. The main characters here are Leo and Naomi. Naomi is Iranian American, and Leo is from Rome. Those are the two main characters. Everyone else is hardly ever mentioned or Beckett. And you'll see what I mean by that when you read the books, or if you read my Read With Me. Leo is a swimmer, and he really wants it because his family is dead and he would like to leave your planet. Naomi is smart. Yeah, that's what we get. That's all we get here. She's not like other girls. Both are pretty sympathetic characters. I found myself relating and really liking most of them for the most part. Although, there was one thing that I feel obligated to mention in this review. Leo's depression was handled terribly. And I know this is like a bit brief of spoilers, but it's in like the first chapter, okay? Or like you'll get there if you even like open the book. So Leo's big thing is that he lives in like the sunken Rome, right? And his parents died when he was like a wee laddie, and now he just goes and he dives and he finds treasures. And he sells them, and just gets money, and that's how he basically lives. And he's sick and tired of living this way, and he feels sad because his family is dead, which understandably so, and he's obviously depressed. And so he's suicidal in the beginning of this book. But then he gets chosen to go to like the space camp thing, and he falls in love. And all of that's treated as in, boom, sparkles, the magic sparkles carry away the depression on the wings of happiness. And that's really nice to think about, but that's really not how mental illness works at all. If someone was depressed to the point of being suicidal, falling in love and having some good memories is not going to help them. What they need is therapy and help. Because you can make all the happy memories you want and still have really damaging thought patterns going on in your head. And that's something we didn't see in this book. So if you're looking for a realistic covering of mental illness, this is not the book for you. He goes to space camp, he falls in love, and bam, everything's perfect, no more depression, and I thought that was pretty unrealistic. So once we mishmashed that all together, I decided to give characters a 5 out of 10. The setting was very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. This was easily the best part of this book. Every description was vivid, on point. You felt like you were there. It was very obvious that the author did so much research into space camp and how people who loved it would really feel being there. It was very well done. Very well done. An 8 out of 10. Plots. Let's talk about the romance. The romance had 2 polar caps, and it fluctuated between these 2. It was either the most unbearable, half-baked, angsty thing you've ever read, or it was like jumping down so good. There was absolutely no in between. It was one or the other. It was always one or the other. When we look at the suspense, the author was clearly going for a lot of mystery and suspense here, but all of her plot twists felt very, like, sudden, if that makes sense. Like, they were either, like, completely predictable, like, wow, I saw this coming from, like, literally a couple pages into the book, or where on earth did that come from? We've had literally no clues leading up to this point. This is really poorly timed. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. However, it flowed smoothly for the most part. So I will give this a 4 out of 10 for plots. Pacing. So pacing. It was either like zipping along at the speed of light or like moving so slowly you thought you were on the Snail Express. Most of the time it was just chugging along at like a pretty mediocre pace. There were times when I was bored. Yeah. There were times when I was really into it, but there were also times when I was bored. 4 out of 10. Plausibility. Okay, so clearly she did her research about space camp, but everything else is sorely lacking. Especially the swim team parts. Definitely the swim team parts. Okay, as a former swimmer myself, I can tell you that she obviously did 0 research on swim team. She did not even look at the Wikipedia page for swim team that could have corrected some of the mistakes that were made here. Which is really unfortunate, since that was like a main character trait for like one of her main characters. Okay, how do I even start this? So there was like a diving board. She mentioned that he steps up to the diving board to compete, which first off is no. What swimmer, competitive swimmer at a national level jumps off a diving board? No one. We jump off blocks. Secondly, he can do flips and hold his breath for 7 minutes, also swim 4 stories underwater, and all of this is justified because swim team. No, swim team and diving are significantly different sports. Swim team and scuba, where they learn to hold their breath, are significantly different sports. Swim team and I don't even know what sport requires you to go 4 stories underwater, but it ain't swim team, I'll tell you that. Another strange inconsistency, Naomi's family is mentioned to be too poor to afford food for all of them. And then yet, later in the book, Naomi pulls out a $60,000 microscope. Yep. If you can't figure out what's wrong with that one, I'll just know. Plausibility, I give a 2 out of 10. She researched Space Camp, and that was it. Overall, I think this book was very meh. That's just the word I have to describe. It's kind of like, heh, I read that. That was a book I read. I have this. If you can ignore the plausibility and the out-of-nowhere twists, then I think you might enjoy this book. And I say that genuinely. I know I spent like a lot of time bashing it, but it's true. Like I said, there were parts of this romance where it was like really fun and really cool, and the setting a lot of the time was really fun and really cool. So is it outlandishly interesting? No. Does it pass the time? Yes. Is it better than school? Also yes. Conclusion, would I buy it? No, don't waste your money. But if you have a library has it and you're looking for something to read, this might just be the book for you. Why not? Overall score is a 23 out of 50, so that's not bad. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. If you know any people who are readers or swimmers, make sure you share this video with them. They might get something out of it. Have a great day. May all your dreams come true. This is Patience Parrot, signing off.